Beloved listener, today's message is not just another passing word of encouragement, it is a heavenly intervention. There is a reason you have been drawn to this exact moment, to hear this urgent divine warning. Your soulmate, the one chosen to walk with you through destiny, carries a hidden emotional weight that is now being revealed. This message arrives with urgency because timing matters. God and the angels understand that delays can bring pain, that misunderstandings can create walls where love was meant to flow, and that silence can grow into distance if not interrupted by light. That is why you are hearing this today, because heaven has determined that you must know the truth, so that you can respond in wisdom, compassion, and readiness. Your soulmate is not a casual connection. They are the other half of your divine alignment. They are part of your story, part of your calling, and part of the way heaven's promises will be manifested in your life. And yet, though they carry light, they also carry burdens. These burdens, unless seen and addressed, can become obstacles that hinder the union you are meant to experience. The angels want you to understand not only what these burdens are, but also why they matter, and how you can position yourself to respond with love and strength. When heaven gives a warning, it is never to create fear. Fear is not the language of God. Instead, this warning comes so you can prepare, so you can pray, and so you can anchor yourself in patience and discernment. A revelation without preparation can crush us, but a revelation with guidance equips us. And that is why this message unfolds step by step, to show you the unseen, the hidden sorrows, the emotional struggles of the one chosen for you, and to reveal how your role and response can either heal or hinder what heaven is aligning. Right now, your soulmate's heart may look calm on the surface. They may appear strong, confident, and ready. But beneath the surface lies an emotional weight, a mixture of past wounds, unanswered questions, fears of rejection, and even battles of self-worth. Some of these weights they themselves don't fully understand. Some they have hidden, even from their own prayers. And yet heaven sees, and today heaven reveals. This urgent divine warning is not only about them, it is also about you. Because to be aligned with someone carrying weight means you too must prepare your shoulders, your heart, and your spirit. The union is not just about love, it is about carrying one another's burdens, lifting one another into healing, and becoming partners in both destiny and deliverance. Love without awareness collapses under pressure, but love with divine revelation becomes unshakable. So, as you hear this message today, open your spirit. Ask yourself not only, what is my soulmate carrying? But also, am I ready to help lift what they carry? Am I prepared to walk in patience, compassion, and discernment? Am I willing to trust God's timing, even when the process feels delayed? The urgency is this: your soulmate is closer than you think, but their heart is heavier than they reveal. And heaven is saying, you cannot walk blindly into this union. You must walk in understanding, prayer, and preparation. The weight they carry will either be an obstacle or a stepping stone. Which one it becomes depends on how you respond. Stay with me, for in the next sections we will unfold the nature of this emotional weight, the signs that reveal it, the obstacles it creates, and most importantly, the divine strategies you can use to anchor this love in healing, wholeness, and lasting strength. Emotional weight is not the same as everyday stress. Stress passes with circumstances. Emotional weight lingers because it is tied to the soul. It is the residue of past heartbreaks, disappointments, betrayals, fears, and unhealed traumas. These weights shape how a person sees love, how they receive love, and how they give love. Your soulmate, like you, has walked through seasons of pain. Perhaps they trusted someone who abandoned them. Perhaps they gave their all to people who took advantage of their kindness. Perhaps they carry guilt from choices they made, or shame from wounds that were never their fault. And now, though heaven is guiding them toward you, they are not walking empty-handed, they are walking with the invisible baggage of their past. This is not to condemn them. In fact, it is precisely because heaven values their destiny with you that this weight is being revealed. If it is ignored, the union will suffer. But if it is seen and healed, your love will rise into a covenant that is unbreakable. Think of emotional weight as a shadow that follows them. They can hide it during the day, in conversations, in smiles, in moments of laughter. But at night, when the world is quiet, the shadow is undeniable. It is in their hesitation before trusting. It is in the walls they build when they feel vulnerable. It is in their silence when words are needed most. This weight is not always destructive, but if left unchecked, it can delay what heaven intends to flourish. Heaven reveals three main categories of emotional weight your soulmate may be carrying. 1. The weight of past wounds. These are heartbreaks, betrayals, losses that still echo in their heart. Even if years have passed, the scars remind them to be cautious, sometimes overly cautious, in love. 2. The weight of fear and insecurity. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of repeating past mistakes. These insecurities can make them pull back just when love is drawing them forward. 3. The weight of hidden expectations. Sometimes they carry silent dreams or pressures. What love should look like, what timing should be. When reality doesn't align with these hidden expectations, disappointment becomes a silent companion. Understanding these categories matters because you will begin to recognize the signs. When they hesitate, you'll understand it's not you, it's the shadow of wounds. When they withdraw, you'll know it's not rejection, it's fear speaking louder than truth. When they seem restless, you'll recognize the unmet expectations whispering within them. But here is the good news: emotional weight does not mean emotional defeat. In God's design, weight can become wisdom. Burdens can become blessings. Scars can become testimonies. The difference lies in whether the weight is carried alone or together, whether it is hidden or revealed, whether it is surrendered to God or clutched in silence. This is why you are called not only to love your soulmate but to understand them. Understanding is deeper than affection. Understanding is spiritual insight into their soul, guided by compassion, patience, and discernment. It is seeing the shadow without fear. It is recognizing the wound without judgment. It is being willing to walk with them at their pace, even when your heart wants to run. When heaven reveals weight, it is never to discourage but to prepare. You are not being asked to fix your soulmate, that is God's work. But you are being invited to stand as an intercessor, a partner, a safe place where healing can unfold. Your role is not to erase their pain but to remind them they are not defined by it. Your role is not to carry their whole burden but to walk beside them as they release it step by step into God's hands. In this divine revelation, the warning is clear: the emotional weight is real. The danger is ignoring it. The opportunity is embracing it with wisdom. And the promise is this: when weight is transformed into healing, your union will not only be strong, it will be sacred. When heaven reveals that your soulmate is carrying emotional weight, it is not so you can point a finger, criticize, or pity them. It is so you can see them with new eyes, eyes of compassion, patience, and truth. Love deepens when it understands. A soul burdened by unspoken pain often reveals itself not through direct words but through subtle signs, gentle whispers of the heart that only those who truly care will notice. Here are the signs you may begin to recognize when your soulmate carries emotional weight. These signs are not meant to scare you but to make you aware. Awareness is love's ally. Blindness is its enemy. 1. Silence where words should be. Sometimes your soulmate may grow quiet in moments when conversation is needed most. This is not because they do not care or do not want to share. It is because the weight of what they carry makes words difficult to form. Silence becomes a shield. They may fear that speaking their truth will overwhelm you, or that you will not understand, or even worse, that you will walk away. Pay attention when silence lingers longer than it should. It may not be disinterest, it may be a soul holding back tears it doesn't know how to release. 2. Hesitation in trusting fully. Trust is the foundation of love, yet those carrying emotional scars often struggle to lean into it completely. Your soulmate may want to trust you with all their heart, yet somewhere deep inside, fear whispers, "What if this ends like before?" You may notice hesitation in their eyes when you open your heart. They may second-guess your intentions or test your loyalty. This is not because they doubt you, it is because they still wrestle with the echoes of betrayal or disappointment from their past. 3. Quick withdrawals when hurt. Everyone makes mistakes. Words slip, tones rise, misunderstandings happen. But when your soulmate carries emotional weight, Even small conflicts may feel heavy for them. They may retreat quickly, shutting down or distancing themselves. This withdrawal is not punishment. It is a defense mechanism, a way of protecting themselves from the possibility of deeper hurt. Where others might argue and then reconcile, they may withdraw into silence, needing space to sort through the storm inside. 4. Guarded vulnerability. They long to be vulnerable with you, to share their fears, their dreams, their fragile moments. But vulnerability requires trust, and trust requires courage. So, what you may notice is a guarded form of openness. They will give you a piece of their heart, then retreat and watch to see if you handle it with care. If you honor the small steps they take toward vulnerability, you'll see more pieces of their soul revealed. But if you dismiss or minimize those steps, the walls may grow higher. 5. A shadow in their joy. Even in moments of happiness, you may notice a subtle shadow in their eyes. Laughter that doesn't fully reach the soul. Smiles that sometimes carry a hidden ache. This doesn't mean they are unhappy with you. It means the weight of yesterday still lingers, whispering in the corners of their joy. True love learns to see both the light and the shadow, to celebrate the joy while gently acknowledging the ache that coexists with it. 6. Fear of losing you. When someone has lost before, or been abandoned, the fear of losing again becomes intense. Your soulmate may carry this fear silently. It may show in their overthinking, in the way they ask for reassurance, or in how they sometimes cling a little tighter than expected. This is not weakness, it is love mixed with fear. They fear that what feels too good to be true might vanish like everything else they once cherished. 7. Overcompensation through strength. Sometimes, those carrying emotional weight hide it behind strength. They will act tough, independent, unshaken, yet beneath the surface, their soul trembles with unspoken pain. They may want to appear strong for you, to prove that they are capable and worthy of your love. If you notice your soulmate always trying to carry everything alone, never asking for help, never admitting struggle, know that this could be their way. 8. Dreams interrupted by doubt. They may have big dreams, divine visions, and powerful desires for the future. But when emotional weight is heavy, doubt creeps in. They may question whether they deserve those dreams, whether they have what it takes, or whether good things ever truly last for them. If your soulmate speaks of dreams with hesitation, or starts something and pulls back halfway, it may be the burden of doubt pressing down on them. 9. Emotional waves that feel unpredictable. Some days, they may be full of love, light, and passion. Other days, they may seem distant, overwhelmed, or emotionally low. These shifts are not about you. They are signs of the inner battle between their desire for connection and the weight of their unresolved pain. To love someone with emotional weight is to learn not to take every wave personally, but to understand that healing is not a straight line. It moves in seasons with highs and lows. 10. The way they look at you. Perhaps the most tender sign is found in their eyes. Sometimes, they will look at you with a longing that speaks louder than words. It is the look of someone who wants desperately to rest in love, but fears whether it's safe to do so. Their eyes may say, "Please see me. Please don't leave. Please love me even when I'm not at my best." When you notice that look, understand that it is not weakness, it is trust being built, step by fragile step. 1. The fear of being vulnerable again. One of the greatest barriers is fear. For someone carrying emotional weight, opening up feels risky. Vulnerability means exposure, and exposure reminds them of past hurts. Your soulmate may long to let go, yet fear whispers, "What if I get hurt again?" This fear can cause them to hold back, even when healing opportunities appear. They may resist conversations, dismiss reassurance, or even downplay their pain, because admitting it feels too raw. 2. The habit of self-reliance. Many people carrying weight have trained themselves to be strong at all costs. They learned to survive by handling everything alone. While resilience is admirable, it can also block healing, because healing often requires opening up to support. From you, from trusted loved ones, and most importantly, from God. If your soulmate has lived long in independence, learning to lean on others will feel unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable. 3. The lies of the past. Emotional wounds often whisper lies. You're not good enough. No one stays. Love always ends. These lies can shape how your soulmate sees themselves and how they interpret your love. Even when you are consistent, the lies of the past can distort their vision, making it hard for them to believe they are worthy of unconditional love. Unless these lies are recognized and replaced with truth, healing will struggle to take root. 4. The weight of timing. Sometimes healing takes longer than expected. Your soulmate may want to move forward quickly but find themselves drawn backward by old memories, triggers, or lingering pain. This tension between desire and reality can frustrate them, and you. Impatience can create unnecessary pressure, and pressure can deepen wounds instead of lifting them. 5. Resistance to divine intervention. Healing ultimately comes from God. Yet at times, people resist surrendering their pain fully. They may hold on to control, thinking they must fix themselves, or they may feel unworthy of God's grace. Until the heart truly surrenders, the fullness of healing remains just beyond reach. The preparations needed to receive healing. If these are the obstacles, then what can be done to prepare? Heaven reveals the obstacles not to discourage you, but so you can prepare in love, prayer, and patience. Here are the steps of preparation. 1. Cultivate patience as a spiritual discipline. Healing does not move at your timetable, nor even at your soulmate's timetable. It moves at God's. Preparation requires you to cultivate patience, not as a passive waiting, but as an active practice of love. Patience says, I will not pressure you. I will walk at your pace. I will trust God to complete what He began. This patience will be tested, but if you anchor it in prayer, it will become one of your greatest strengths. 2. Create a safe space for honesty. Healing blossoms in safety. One of your preparations is to become a safe place where your soulmate can share their fears without judgment. This doesn't mean you accept harmful behavior. It means you foster trust by responding with gentleness when they open up. Every time they risk being honest, your calm, compassionate response will prepare the soil for deeper healing. 3. Strengthen your own emotional foundation. Before you can help carry another's burden, you must ensure your own heart is steady. This means dealing with your own emotional wounds, practicing self-care, and staying grounded in prayer. You cannot lift someone else if you yourself are sinking. Part of your preparation is ensuring you are not relying on them for healing you, but that you are bringing a whole, steady heart to the table. 4. Anchor yourself in prayer and scripture. Healing is not achieved by human effort alone. You must anchor yourself and your soulmate in the presence of God. Pray for their healing daily. Speak affirmations of truth over them. Cover them with scripture, reminding them they are loved, chosen, and redeemed. Prayer is not passive. It shifts atmospheres, it breaks lies, it softens hardened hearts. Your preparation requires becoming an intercessor, not only a lover. 5. Release expectations of perfection. One of the hardest preparations is letting go of the image of a perfect soulmate. Healing is messy. There will be good days and difficult days. If you expect perfection, disappointment will make you resentful. Prepare yourself to embrace the reality that love is not about perfection but persistence, choosing to show up, even in imperfection, because that is where real healing grows. The hope beyond the obstacles. Every obstacle has an answer in God. Fear can be overcome with love. Lies can be replaced with truth. Self-reliance can be softened by grace. Timing can be surrendered to divine wisdom. Resistance can be melted by God's relentless mercy. Your preparation is not about fixing your soulmate, it is about creating the conditions where God's healing can flow freely. When you walk in patience, when you offer safety, when you strengthen your own heart, and when you cover your soulmate in prayer, you are aligning yourself with heaven's plan. And here is the divine promise. What feels heavy now will not always be heavy. What seems delayed now will not always be delayed. The obstacles are real, but they are temporary. Healing is God's will, and what He wills, He makes a way for. Beloved, take this to heart. Your soulmate is not defined by the obstacles they face. They are defined by the destiny God has written over their life. The emotional weight they carry now is only a chapter, not the ending. And your preparation today is what ensures that when the fullness of healing arrives, you will both be ready to walk in a love that is whole, steady, and unshakable. Healing is not a vague idea. It is a living reality that heaven wants you to walk in. It is not only about recovering from the past, it is about stepping into a wholeness that allows you and your soulmate to flourish in love without being chained to yesterday's wounds. But to experience this kind of healing, it must first be received, and then it must be anchored. Receiving healing is about opening the door. Anchoring healing is about making sure it stays and becomes part of your new reality. Without anchoring, healing can slip away when pressure rises or old fears resurface. But when healing is anchored, it becomes your foundation, steady, unshakable, and strong. Let us walk step by step through how to both receive and anchor this divine gift. Step 1. Open the heart to receive. The first step in receiving healing is openness. Healing cannot flow into a closed heart. For your soulmate, and for you, this means letting go of the guarded walls that keep love at a distance. Openness does not mean reckless vulnerability. It means a willingness to allow God's love, truth, and presence to enter the places that have long been shut away. It means saying, "Lord, I am ready for you to touch the places I've been hiding, the wounds I've carried, and the fears I've nursed." For your soulmate, this openness may come slowly. That is why your patience matters. As they begin to trust, as they begin to open, healing begins to flow. Step 2. Invite divine presence. Healing is not man-made, it is God-given. To receive true healing, you must invite His presence into the relationship. This can be done through prayer together, or if your soulmate is not yet ready, through prayer you lift on their behalf. When God is invited, He does not come to judge. He comes to restore. His Spirit moves like living water, washing away lies, refreshing weary souls, and softening hardened places. You can anchor this step by making prayer a habit, not only in crisis but in daily rhythm. Morning blessings. Evening gratitude. Short prayers whispered when you sense heaviness in their spirit. Prayer is the channel that keeps heaven's healing power flowing. Step 3. Replace lies with truth. Much of emotional weight is sustained by lies. I am not worthy. Love always fails. I am too broken to be healed. These lies can choke healing unless they are actively replaced with truth. Healing becomes anchored when the truth is spoken consistently. This means affirming your soulmate. You are worthy of love. You are not defined by your past. God has chosen you, and He is making all things new. But it also means declaring Scripture over the relationship. Truth like, by His stripes we are healed. Perfect love casts out fear. He who began a good work in you will complete it. When lies are replaced with truth, healing takes root and grows deeper, no longer shaken by old voices of shame. Step 4. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful anchors of healing. Without it, wounds remain tender and easily reopened. For your soulmate, forgiveness may mean releasing the pain of those who betrayed them. For you, forgiveness may mean letting go of impatience or frustration when the healing process feels slow. Forgiveness is not about excusing wrongs, it is about refusing to let past wrongs hold power over your present love. It says, "The past may have shaped me, but it will not control me." When both of you learn to forgive, yourselves and others, the emotional weight loses its grip. Healing begins to breathe freely. Step 5. Walk in gentle consistency. Healing thrives in consistency. One kind gesture may touch a heart, but consistent kindness rebuilds trust. One supportive word may ease fear, but steady reassurance silences the voice of doubt. Your soulmate will anchor healing when they see your love is not just an emotional rush but a steady presence. Day after day, showing up. Listening when they struggle. Reassuring when they doubt. Celebrating when they take even the smallest step forward. Gentle consistency is how you show, you are safe with me. I will not run when things get hard. And safety is the soil where healing takes deepest root. Step 6. Celebrate progress, not just perfection. Healing does not unfold in a straight line. Some days will feel like breakthroughs. Other days may feel like setbacks. But anchoring healing requires you to celebrate progress, no matter how small. If your soulmate opens up a little more than yesterday, celebrate it. If they smile with freedom for the first time in weeks, acknowledge it. If they express fear but stay in connection instead of withdrawing, honor that courage. Celebrating progress shifts focus from what is missing to what is growing. It reminds you both that healing is happening, even if slowly. Step 7. Build new memories together. Old wounds are tied to old memories. To anchor healing, you must create new memories that speak of joy, safety, and trust. These memories become anchors that remind your soulmate, love can be safe. Joy can last. This relationship is not like the past. It doesn't require extravagant gestures. It can be simple moments, a shared prayer, a walk in the evening, laughter over dinner, a quiet hug that says more than words. Every positive memory replaces the imprint of pain with a new imprint of love. Step 8. Anchor healing in God's timing. Perhaps the hardest part is surrendering timing. Healing rarely moves as fast as we wish. Yet forcing it risks breaking fragile progress. Anchoring healing requires releasing control of the timeline. You must say, Lord, I trust your timing. I trust that you know when and how healing should unfold. My role is to remain faithful, not forceful. When timing is surrendered, pressure lifts. Healing then flows freely, without the burden of expectation. Step 9. Step into purpose together. Healing is not only about surviving, it is about stepping into purpose. As healing grows, you and your soulmate will begin to see that your union is not just for companionship, but for destiny. Anchoring healing means turning your attention outward, asking, how can our love bless others? How can we serve together? How can we walk in the mission heaven has assigned us? When love is given a purpose, healing becomes unshakable, because it is tied not only to emotion but to divine calling. Step 10. Guard the healing you've received. Finally, anchoring healing requires guarding it. Old triggers may try to resurface. Doubts may knock at the door. The enemy may attempt to sow division through fear or misunderstanding. To guard healing, you must remain watchful. Keep communication open. Keep prayer consistent. Keep forgiveness ready. And when you notice old patterns creeping back, address them gently but firmly, reminding each other of the progress you've made. Healing, once received, must be protected like treasure. Because it is treasure. The promise of anchored healing. Beloved, when healing is both received and anchored, your love transforms. No longer weighed down by fear, shame, or doubt, your union becomes light, free, and strong. The scars remain, but they no longer define you. Instead, they testify to the power of God to turn brokenness into beauty. Your soulmate's emotional weight is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a testimony that will one day inspire others. And your role in this testimony is not only to be a witness, but to be a vessel of love, patience, and intercession, helping anchor the healing that heaven so urgently wants to release. Healing has already begun. Heaven has already moved. The warning was given not to frighten you, but to prepare you for the glory of what comes after healing, a union whole, resilient, and unshakable.